Watch the clock.
Jay, you want to turn the mics?
I call this December 17, 2013 Airport Authority meeting to order. And I'll ask Mr. Lovelace if you'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you all stand, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to move item 2 down until Mr. Holland gets here. He's called in. He's going to be a little bit late. So we'll go on with public comments. And when Mr. Holland gets here, we'll go back to item 2. Boyce, Abernathy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
I think I'll give all these out to y'all folks there, either previous to the meeting or at the meeting. So direct your attention to the first piece of paper here. It's the long sheet. I'd like to thank Sherry Lavender, the custodian of the records, for filling this public record request. This is all of the airplanes that are being taxed in Rutherford County. And you'll notice that very many of these planes are going down in value, so our revenue is decreasing. In particular, one there that I'd bring to your attention would be Robert McNair's airplane. I've heard over the years that a sort of model, we wanted to get aircraft to come in, we wanted expensive aircraft and base them. I've heard that for the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I just never did see that business model really materializing. But RCM Management Services, an 05 Bombardier in 2008 was valued at $26,500 in 2008, and today it's $10,562. And I was going to mention, I asked Eddie Holland to put me on the agenda tonight, and he called me back and said just speak at the 3-minute public comment time. So I'm going to give you here on your public comment guidelines. When I run out of time, you've got 2 minutes, so you can use it or lose it. Now we'll go to the revenue and expenditures, and I'd like to thank Bert Watson for filling my public records request. She is the custodian of the records. And I asked for January to October, and you know I have that. A little bit of explanation, and it boggles my mind to wrap my mind around it, but if you'll notice the period of activity, it has like January the 1 through January 31st. That's a month. That would be like you getting your power bill. It's a month. But under total revenue, you'll see on January it has minus $40,227.39. You look at that and think that was a loss, but they're telling me that's not. And in the way their Keystone computer system, 2007 version, this is the way that it operates. And so I'll quickly run you down, if I can do it. In January, Rutherford County Airport, from these documents, made a profit of $1,645.07. In February, they had a loss of $14,249.31. In March, there was a loss of $20,261.02. April, a profit of $4,730.79. I'm missing May. She didn't have it in her email from the finance office. June is a loss of $24,533.86. July, a profit of $15,907.90. August, a loss of $37,500.90. September was a profit of $1,327.16. October, a loss $6,137. Like I say, I needed more than 3 minutes, but I didn't get it, so y'all use you too. Anybody got any questions? You want me to finish this?
I'm assuming you did an overall for the whole.
I did.
Here, what was that number?
Okay. There's a loss of about $79,000 for this period, and Sherry Lavender told me that all of these aircraft brought in for last year $91,668. But that is not a full year, so your year goes from July the 1st to June the 30th, And so I don't actually have a year, I've just got what I've got and wanted to give you some information that it is available. The revenues and expenditures are available, and you can get those. Paula Roach at the finance office has any months that don't. My understanding, every department gets a revenue and expenditure every single month that goes out. But if it's misplaced or gone or destroyed, they have to generate a new one, and that comes from the computer in the finance office. So
Thank you.
I can give you that information.
Mr. David Reno.
Mr. Chairman, members of the authority, I believe this is your fourth meeting since you took over, if I haven't counted wrong. And I'm back here again for the third time, essentially asking the same information that I've been here for the last 3 months. The one on the records, which I do notice was on the agenda, which of course I didn't have any access to and I didn't know about, so it is very possible that you're actually going to talk about the missing minutes. But because I don't know what you're going to say, and rather than miss the opportunity, I guess I would say this. My recollection of what happened was the chairman and certainly other members of the authority were just dead on the old authority because of this issue. You didn't give them 3.5 months to come up with an answer. I've been waiting for an answer since they took over. Of course, one of the things that puzzles me is the editor of our newspaper is here. He didn't give the old authority any slack either.
Mr. Reno, we're not going to be
Not gonna what?
chastising individuals. You can speak to the board.
I am speaking to the board.
Or sit down.
I am speaking to the board. He happens to be somebody that directs
You're not
policy
gonna-
around here.
You're not going to address people personally. You'll address the
I
board as a whole.
addressed a
Okay.
person that was doing the issue.
Thank you for your comments, sir. You can sit
I'm
down.
not done.
Sir?
I said I'm not done.
You can call, if he's unwilling to abide by the ruling of the chair, there are several options available to the chair, to the board. You can call for a deputy, you can recess the meeting, or you can adjourn the meeting.
You're not going to take a seat?
You're not gonna let me finish my presentation?
No, because you refuse to.
Refuse to do what?
You're naming individuals that it's not part of the rules to do. You can address this board as a whole. That's it.
Okay, I ask you, where are they? What is the issue of the missing minutes? Why have we not heard an answer to that?
I haven't had an issue with the missing minutes, so.
Sure you did. You want to go back 3.5 months and look at one of the issues, the reason that you voted to take over the airport authority was the fact that the old authority couldn't come up with the minutes, and they couldn't figure out, according to this group right here, you couldn't figure out exactly, was there something shady going on there that was being hid?
Take a 5-minute recess. Chris.
No, 1980.
That's 35 years. Well, you'd be satisfied with the discussion come up when you item with you and discuss with them?
No, I want to go over here in front of the board.
Right, that's what I mean.
If you don't speak, we can do it like these meetings got fine with me.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Where'd Jane go?
He's just hanging out doing other work. Great.
Where did they come up with $37,000 losses? I think what's happening is they go out and spend $13,000 for people. City buy fuel this month, what's that, $37,000?
Mr. Reno, what we'll do, this is on the agenda, and I'll talk to Mr. Richard, and we we can enter into a discussion at that time.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, we have the minutes, approval of the minutes from November 19th on the agenda. Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Need a second, please.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving these minutes on November 19th, please raise your right hand. We have 4, 1 absent. Mr. Classen, the financial report.
Chairman, you have the monthly financial report in front of you showing airport fuel sales for both the month of November and the year to date. It is running ahead of plan for the year, although it'll probably begin to slow down during the winter months when we have fewer sales, obviously. The balance of the items, obviously the fuel purchases are also running ahead of schedule because we've been buying more, because we've been selling more. And so that's running well. The one thing I wanted to make note of is on service and maintenance contracts where you show it, the encumbrance, we actually sign a contract for the entire year for maintenance in and around the airport. That was executed prior to this board taking over. That's why you show a large encumbrance there. That's for the work to be done under that contract for the balance of the year. You'll have the opportunity to look at that contract this spring when the budget is reviewed. So beyond that, be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Classen on the financial report? We approve them?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, I think you're up, airport or operations report, please, sir.
Gentlemen, good evening. Let's see, the total fuel flowage for the month of November for 2013. I'll actually break it down for you this time. The 100 low lead total flowage for fuel was 2,123.5 gallons. Jet A was actually down a little bit this month at 520 gallons. But we did have 3 prepaid customers totaling a total of 7,700, can't read my own writing, sorry about that. 7,718 gallons combined, totaling 10,361 gallons. We also recently lowered our fuel prices just during the holidays for the next 2 weeks. 100 low lead went from $5.36 to $5.25, and Jet A was also lowered from $4.99 to $4.70. The prices will go back to normal to the previous rates on January the 1st. Let's see. We also donated a wheelchair to Jeff Hill from the transit department. He could use that. We've had one in our basement for about 20 years. That has not been used once. Other than that, that's about it. We have had a recent request from another organization to utilize the airport's facilities coming this March. Boy Scouts of America. I'll be talking with them for the next several weeks and keep you apprised of that also. And I believe that is my report. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, just to follow up on the operations report, Jason Ruff has been working with the property owners about the runway clearance area, and I'm happy to report that we have agreement on the 2 trees, the 2 smaller trees, those to be removed. And also, he's working with all of the other property owners that where we don't have easements and trying to coordinate with Beth Miller to get easements. We don't have approval for them. We're still working with the property owners, but they've got an agreement on those 2 trees right now. So that's all moving forward. Just want to let you know on that.
Okay, great.
And last thing is we have learned that there are a number of mines on the old Edwards property and around there. And I appreciate Chris. We are documenting those for historical purposes so that that'll be taken care of as you all consider moving forward any improvements on that property. So you'd be happy to answer any questions.
On the 2 trees, what kind of agreement's being reached?
Right now, it's that we will drop them on the property for the property owner to remove the trees actually. And then the other thing has to do with the buffer area around the stream.
Is he being compensated? Or is
No,
it-
not on the agreement, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Chris, any other questions for Chris?